Okay, this is our post-observation about yesterday's lesson that I was in here to see. Just as a reminder, this is being videotaped. You're not going to be on the videotape. Your voice will be, but your face won't be, your name won't be, none of that will be important information. They won't even be listening to your answers. They're only worried about me. So again, this is about our observation on unit rates, which we saw yesterday. So in your opinion, how did the lesson go?
In my opinion, the lesson went very well. Almost all of the students met the outcome that I had specified in my objective, which I was very impressed with.
How did you know they met that objective?
I knew they met the objective through the Smart Responder data
Okay.
and from the prompts I gave after you left my classroom.
Okay. Yeah, so I did miss that piece, but that piece did come later, and you did show that to me. Okay. If had the student work, did you find different levels? Is everybody completely mastered? Were they all kind of in between?
All of the students were between 4 and 5, so
Okay.
obviously there were students who completely mastered and students who got 80%. When I was looking at the prompts, the students had to find the unit rate for different cups of Starbucks coffee and determine which was the best value.
Okay.
All of them were able to find the unit rates, but students had different levels of explanations on their responses, which let me know like their level of understanding, how
Okay.
well they were able to explain it, if they were able to articulate, it was cheaper per ounce, or just said it was cheaper. There was different levels within their writing, so I could see, yes, this kid understand it, but this kid really understands
Okay.
it.
Now, you use that 4-sentence format?
Yes.
Is that something you use every time?
I started the 4-sentence format after conferencing with their language arts teacher,
Okay.
the 5th grade language arts teacher. So
Okay.
they use a 4-sentence format in language arts to answer questions, so I figured it would make sense to do it in here. And I did notice the students would explain their answers, but they would explain it the way they thought about it and not
Right.
think about, well, someone's reading this who isn't in your brain.
Okay.
So I wanted to come up with a response where they would absolutely have all the components. So the way it works is they have to start with my answer is in the label because they love to leave off
Mhm.
labels. And then they have 2 to 3 or even 4 if they need sentences to explain, this is my process, this is why I did it, here's some evidence from the question,
Okay.
and then the actual math.
Okay.
And then finally they conclude it with, therefore my answer is this, and because, so one sum it up. So in
Okay.
in this scenario is therefore my answer is the venti coffee because it was the cheapest per
Okay.
ounce.
And they understand that it's not just about getting the answer now. We have to really work
Yeah,
on
they have to
explaining.
understand that, half of the chunk of the paragraph is explaining why.
Okay, great. The classroom procedures, how do you think those went?
I think they went well.
Okay.
The students all have jobs, so they know they come in right away, they get their homework out, one student passes out the brain starters, and from there, if I say whiteboard, marker, sock, they know who gets the whiteboards, who gets the markers.
Yes. I even noticed they did it very quickly, and there was no hesitation. You could tell you've been doing that the whole time.
Yeah, every single time they know who gets what,
Right.
who does what, where to put it, and I think it just cuts down on so
Absolutely.
much time.
And nobody even fought about the whiteboards or the socks. There's
No, they
It
know-
was like
and
whatever
the
you get,
peop-
that's good. Okay. Physical space. Any adjustments you had to make to the physical space of the room to make the lesson either go better, or in general, how do you use your physical space?
Well, I have students who work better if they kind of need their own office. If
Okay.
they could have one. So I noticed I had one student go to the front, he calls it
Yes.
his smart responder spot.
Okay.
So he knows, get up and go over there, you're focused, you can be sitting there. Also when you left the room, I have a corner of my room where I have carpet and beanbag chairs, and I use it as a reward. So the students
Okay.
that were behaving the best can go back there. And it's also a place, if I notice a student having a really rough day and it's going to disrupt the classroom, go back there, take a minute, breathe, come back ready to learn.
Absolutely. Okay. Just to kind of go over the observation itself, what I saw, I'm going to start with the ones that I gave you the 4s on. There are a couple categories I think you did very well in. Creating an environment of respect and rapport, I think, was fantastic. They were all very friendly. At one point, there was one student who had been absent the day before, and another student reminded you very nicely that you needed to help him to catch him up. At one point, you even made a mistake. I think you said the wrong number, and they said, just kind of giggling, like, oh, I think you meant to say 5. It wasn't like, oh, no, this is totally
Yeah.
wrong. So that was very nice to see that. So everybody was very respectful and very nice on that, so I think you did a very good job there. I did notice I gave you the 4 for the organizing physical space, because I heard the student say, can I go to my smart responder spot? And you could tell it was right by the board where he's able to focus and do a little bit better there, so I think those are both good. Anything that you would try to change or improve upon for next time?
For next time, I'm very new to using smart responders, so the thing I'm struggling with the most is what to do with the student who finishes in 5 seconds and the student who finishes in 5 hours.
Okay.
Because I can only do one question at a time.
Right.
So I'm kind of struggling, do I set a time limit, and if you don't have time, I have to move on without you. So that's what I'm struggling with, because I would have liked for you to have come in and seen more of the lesson, but
Sure.
I'm struggling with, what to do with the slower students, and, maybe let them skip one, or continue working on that question, and
Okay.
they have, a total of 4 instead of a total
Right.
of 5. I'm still working out the
Right.
kinks with that.
And that might be something that you and I work on, because I know there's the option to have them answer all the questions at their own pace. but I don't know how that actually works because I think
You
only
only have
one's
one screen.
displayed.
Exactly. That's the problem I'm having. I can only have one question up there.
Right.
So unless we're new that I have 2 really slow kids, I can print it out,
Sure.
give it
Oh,
to
that would
them,
be
and then
interesting.
let
Okay.
them kind of do it. Especially
Okay.
for this class, not so much, but with my second class, I have a resource teacher, so
Okay.
they could even sit in the back with her
Okay.
and finish it as they go.
Right.
So that could be
Okay,
an
so that's
option.
one thing to definitely work on, and I can do the research too because I use those, and we can try to figure out a way to make that work a little better. The other thing I would try to say I would recommend doing is every time when problems were right and everybody got it right, it was fine, you just moved on. That's not
Yeah.
a problem. But when you went to explain them, you were at the front the whole time doing all the work.
Yeah, let someone else do it.
Let them kind of take control, let them share that responsibility and go from there. Now again, that sometimes takes a little bit more time. So
Exactly,
if time's
I-
already an issue, it's time kind of hard to work through that, but I think that
At
it
least
would be
once
good
or
to have it.
twice through the
Absolutely,
lesson
yes,
doesn't
yes.
give them-
And also, you were very good about having them explain their brain starter, but then the actual questions,
I
it
kinda
was just
just-
answers,
yeah.
go, answer, go, answer, go. So maybe incorporating more explanation into the actual responder quiz itself
Mm-hmm.
would also be another thing for us to work on. Ideally, I would say in the next month, maybe you and I can touch base again on both the responder and kind of that shared responsibility, which I know is hard. I struggle with that too, kind of giving over control to the kids. But maybe by winter break, we can try to figure something out and meet again. Maybe come in even just for like 20 minutes just to kind of see where we're going. I will help you with that. We can kind of go from there. But I think all in all, it was a very good lesson. The kids were engaged. They were interested. They were working hard. Again, you said they all did a good job on it. They all
Yeah.
learned, the objective. They all reached that. So I think that all in all, it was a good start for us. And then again, those 2 things to work on, and we can kind of go from there.
Alright.
Any other questions or things you want to
No, I think good.
comment on? Okay.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.